Alright, hope this is working. Let's just take a look. Good. It's all set up. So, yeah. This is some of the content I watch, I guess. But I don't watch anything on this channel. I watch it on Archives. My, I guess, second channel. I just watch some stuff. Yeah. So today we are just going to watch, I don't know, anything. Alright, so we're just gonna watch some history videos. Let's go into that. Well, let's react to something. How about, yeah, Alternate History Hub. Gotta give it to them. Alternate History Hub, massive respect. Cody's so awesome. I really love his content. Since it's World War I month, let's react to, I guess, World War I.
Spectrum Mobile is the fastest growing mobile provider in the nation. And now is the time.
For some reason, high volume makes it worse. I know it's
Johnny, get your gun, get your gun, get your gun. Take it on the run, on the run, on the run. Hear them calling you and me, every son of liberty.
Victory of the Kaiser. Yeah, it's the victory
World
of the
War
Kaiser.
I was called the war to end all wars. Europe was now at a new age, a crisis, where tradition and the modern day were increasingly at odds. Industrialization progressed faster than the mentality
Hold on, something's up with the volume.
did. The old noble ways of gentleman war clashed with the brutal reality of the trenches, and because of this, millions died. World War I was the war to end them all, because this was the last time the old European ideals would fight, the last time monarchies would reign. From who won and lost, new ideas replaced them for this industrial world, like fascism and communism. Simply put, it set the stage for the next. Germany.
That is 100% true. Think about the countries that died, like the empires that got destroyed. The German Empire was gone. The Austro-Hungarian Empire was gone. The Ottoman Empire was gone. The Russian Empire was gone. The British Empire declined and became gone. And pretty sure, yeah, Italian monarch gone. Spanish monarch gone. All of them disappeared. All of them used to be monarchs. The French were like the only one that didn't really have a monarch. And then Britain technically had a monarch, but it was constitutional monarchy.
In our timeline, brought Russia into civil war, caused immunity in France, and almost broke the Allies in 1917. Before you know, America. It was just by bad decisions that we saw.
Honestly, I think America saved Europe from Germany. Or, well, the Allies at least. I think if it weren't for America, the Allies wouldn't win.
The 20th century of American ascendance, when it easily could have become the German century. Only question is, what would this look like? What if in an alternate timeline?
There's huge debate on what would happen, but the biggest one, which I don't think people look into much, is would it be a good or bad world? I talked with some people in the comments below before. In my personal opinion, I think it wouldn't be that bad of a world. It depends. If it was early, 1914, 1915 maybe. If Germany won kind of early, then that would be, yeah, I think it would have been a better world. If it were 1917, 1918, or possibly even 1919, Germany, I don't think it would be a good world. I think they would be too weak to help out Russia during the Civil War, and communists, I feel like, would win. So I feel like it would just be communism much more powerful due to a very weak Germany. I mean, by the time they got their economy back up, maybe they can handle the Soviet Union. I don't know anything about there.
Germany and the Central Powers won World War I. Let's go back to 1914 with the assassination of Austrian royalty Franz Ferdinand. Ferdinand was dead by the hands of a Serb nationalist, and the dominoes began to fall into place. Treaties certainly forced a lot of countries to declare war for their allies. There is one military decision that Germany made that almost certainly lost them the entire war: invading Belgium. France had built up their military border
The Schlieffen Plan sucked.
in anticipation for a German attack. Germany, however, had a plan: the Schlieffen Plan. Bypass the
The problem with it was that it was outdated.
French defenses on the border by invading through Belgium, which was undefended. By going around this meat grinder, the Germans would have easy access to Paris. Well, that's not so bad. Belgium's tiny. They can't defend themselves. But Germany ignored that Belgium had one key friend: the British. And the British had
What's this then?
one single condition that it stressed shouldn't be violated: don't violate Belgian neutrality. Germany, in a Prussian fashion, believed more in military action than diplomatic consequences, and marched anyway. It was this single act that brought on the wrath of the British Empire.
The British Empire did so much to change World War I. If they weren't in it, it would be over for France. France didn't do too much. I feel like France was carried by Great Britain. Germany, I think, would crush France. No doubt about that. Look at their populations. They had like 68 million. What did France have? Like less than 50 million. Just 40 million people. While Britain had access to hundreds of millions of people.
Defining the absolute scale this war would be fought on, the British would block German ports and cut the transatlantic cable between the United States and Germany. In this alternate timeline, for Germany
Oh, and cutting them off. Forgot about that.
to not lose the war, one major step is it simply doesn't invade Belgium. By doing this, Germany avoids immediate conflict with Britain. Now, this doesn't guarantee the Brits would stay out of it.
That is true. They probably would have joined in maybe 1917. Maybe less. Maybe
Keep in
more.
mind,
Who knows?
Central Power victory would cement German dominance in Europe, and we can't have that. But without a provocation, though, this would buy Germany enough time to gain a major advantage
I really enjoyed the style. He really puts the atmosphere in it.
over France. Even if it was a year before Britain entered, it was 4 years of trench warfare between the British and French combined against Germany alone. France alone wouldn't even have the population to sustain a German offensive.
Exactly.
So in this alternate timeline, Germany's military keeps France at bay through a small border they share at Alsace-Lorraine, while the majority of their forces fully mobilize
That's what I was saying in my video. Germany would probably do that, and that would probably give them the win.
against Russia, aiding their Austrian allies. Whether or not
See, Cody agrees with me. Now you have to agree.
this alternate strategy would work, who knows? But it does solve
No, it would work. Definitely.
the whole keep Britain out of the war thing. No matter what German military strategy is, resentment is still assured against the Tsar. Revolution can still undermine the Russian war effort like in our timeline and force the Russians to negotiate. I'll focus on this aspect in a bit. The German forces on the Eastern Front now come to the west. Millions of troops fighting in a
Yeah, so just do a switcheroo. Invade Russia instead of France.
small area until one side finally breaks. And without Britain, that side is most likely France. Germany then invades. In our timeline, Germany almost destroyed the French defense in 1917, before the Americans arrived. So it wouldn't be long before the French simply can't defend themselves and are pushed back. Soon, Paris falls. The war in the West and the East is officially over. Both sides tried to fight Germany and lost. Would Britain just sit back and allow Germany to beat two nations in a war, achieving complete dominance over mainland Europe? Probably not. They'd declare war. It's unlikely, however, that they'd win. As the British were the masters of the sea, the Germans were the dominant military of the land. It's doubtful Britain alone could put a dent in the German occupation. America would simply stay out of the war. In exchange for a ceasefire, an agreement is made very similar to the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk. In just one signing of a document, Germany and Austria-Hungary seized Poland, the Baltic states, Belarus, and all of the Ukraine and Crimea. By 1918, most of Europe is now either a Germanic puppet or in the Empire.
Yeah, so I do agree with a lot of these points he's making. what I would disagree on is, I don't know. I feel like they would push any further. The original deal, though, was kind of small. I kind of think it depends. I don't think communism would rise. I feel like since they had so many troops up at Russia, I don't know if they would send him in. You know, I don't know if they would send him through. So it would depend if Russia, the Russian Empire makes the deal early or late. If late, then it's much more land. If early, then it's a lot less land.
In this video, I'm going to show you how I made $1.2 million in the first
I don't really care.
7 months working online without having to be an affiliate marketer.
Why would they do this? Germany feared Russian dominance. Russia for centuries was this backwater European wannabe. It had size and manpower, but was
Bro, they had slaves until like 1900. Feudalism until 1900.
woefully poor and far behind technologically. In the last few decades, something changed. It began industrializing rapidly, and if Russia fully industrialized, there was no defeating them. By seizing their valuable lands, diplomatically by military agreement, Germany legally can neuter the Russian state. Quarter of their population, now German. Most of their coal, now German, but
90%. Wrap that around your head. 90%. That 90% of their coal. That is enormous.
this is just the beginning. If there's one thing Slavs don't like, it's being invaded and occupied. So the 2 million German troops in the east now face a guerrilla war against insurgents, including ones funded by the Soviets. France is blamed for putting the worst of the reparations on Germany, but it's not like Germany would be so kind if they were in the same position.
Yeah, I feel like they were all bad. They all kind of wanted power, and they were all gonna make a lot of these mistakes. A lot of them would probably do this. Either way, you know? But that still doesn't justify these treaties. You know, just because, Germany would probably do it doesn't mean France shouldn't have, forced them to sign the Treaty of Versailles. I've debated a lot of people on this. In my opinion, I think the Treaty of Versailles was way too harsh. Like, Germany doesn't deserve that. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Bruh, like, taking away someone's military to just 100,000, that is tiny. Taking away their ships, I mean, yes, it's horrible, but not that bad. Oh, but you're also taking away their tanks, all their, all their heavy weapons. Wait, doesn't that mean French tanks can just tear down Germany whenever they want? I would say that's a little unfair, don't you think? Oh, it's not like it's going any farther. Oh, no, $500 billion of reparations in today's money. $500 billion. That would be like the U.S. giving $500 billion to China for losing a war. Or how about, even better, that would be like Joe Biden spending $500 billion on something useless, which our government already does. I don't want to go too political, I'm so sorry. But I'm just pointing out, like, that's a lot in that treaty. Oh, and the land. I mean, honestly, I kind of understand the land like, how much land they took. I don't think occupying the Rhine land was justified, though. They clearly knew that weakening Germany this much, they wouldn't really be able to pay it back. But they just took anyway. Who cares about logic? And I think the worst of all was, like, putting the blame on Germany. Germany gets the blame because Russia started this whole thing with Serbia and Austria-Hungary. They should put blame on Austria-Hungary and Serbia. And Russia. Like, they all sucked and they all did this. Russia mobilizing while they also were industrializing probably would have freed some people out, don't you think? Right? Germany was trying to make peace, but they didn't. They failed to do so because the other countries refused and they wanted other things and they couldn't agree, so they invaded. Yeah, that was bad, but they all did bad. France wasn't any better. They didn't try to negotiate. All they wanted was stupid Alsace back. They didn't think logically.
In this alternate timeline, Germany keeps Alsace-Lorraine. They impose massive amounts of war reparations, and the French people have to deal with a brief German occupation. Imagine France at this time. They had lost 2 wars now to the new German Empire, basically powerless to stop a state that was practically brand new. It's not hard to imagine elements of French society would be resentful against the Germans. Does this mean we'll have an alternate French Hitler? Probably not. Even if France actually did have a French Hitler, they just don't have the population to win a war. World War I was defining for one reason. It set the stage for who the winners and losers would be in the 20th century. Not just in terms of borders, but ideology. Old European aristocratic ways died with the Kaiser and the Austrian Emperor. Don't think Germany and Austria expand monarchies to France or make the king a new power in Britain, but they do send a message that old European aristocracy and nobility is still relevant. It's very possible that the 20th century could have become the German century. The Germans wanted an economic union that united all people of Europe around Germany. Without the rise of the Nazis, intellectuals, including people like Albert Einstein, continued their scientific endeavors inside Germany. However, we're just getting started. The Central Powers have established themselves as victors in this war. What matters is how they use this victory. This, however, is one scenario. This is Cody of Alternate History Hub.
Okay, let's get into part 2. All that stuff. Here we go.
Find the latest shoes for however you summer at DSW.
This is how you order all this delivery food for cheap.
Your hair looks goofy.
Okay, so
Siege the Deutschland. Deutschland. No, it's Deutschland, I think, right? Deutschland. 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 I don't know.
Won the Great War in a stunning victory against the
Central Powers victorious. Is this like on Hearts of Iron 4 or something? They've officially stand on top, defeated the Allies. Today is a world stage.
Allies. It was not an easy victory, and it was not a quick one, but it was one which redefined the history of the modern world. Conflict has a way of reorganizing the stage along your own terms. This was seen in our timeline when the Allies forever neutered the Germans and Austrians from European politics. The reparations shrunk Germany's economy and
55 billion there. But guess what? Look at that. That's not adjusting much for inflations. In how it actually was 500 billion, as we established before.
Territory, making it already fragile once the Depression hit, and the war saw the death of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. By now, you probably know the ramifications of this. It was this initial defeat that immediately stopped the Germans' rise to power that had been occurring for the last half-century. A united Germany under Prussian rule was a formidable force. It wasn't a colonial power like Britain, France, or Russia, but it was still one with growing potential. When the Great War ended and the Kaiser fled, this rise was finished. Germany went down the path of Nazism, which would only destroy it further. In the late 90s, this was 80 years of being mostly subject to economic power of Europe. Would have gone down a different path in those lost years.
Bruh, hey, that's my bird right there. You see?
This is part 2.
Yeah, but you see this? That's the background. The Persian eagle.
Have gone down a different path in those lost years. This is part 2. When we left off, the Central Powers are victorious against the Allies. The Russians have been driven to civil war, and due to the territory acquired in the Brest-Litovsk Treaty, which doesn't completely collapse, Germany now is left with a sizable portion of Eastern Europe. You may have flashbacks to World War II, but keep in mind it's not like the Third Reich style conquering the East for Lebensraum. As per the treaty agreement, the Russians allow for the birth of new nations in the Baltics and an independent Ukraine. as well as the creation of the Cossack and Crimean states as well. The Germans begin the redrawing of the map. While these Baltic and Ukrainian states are technically independent,
They're all loyal to Germany. Booyah!
they're loyal to the German economy and the financial system, almost like another entity we all know and love.
Evil. I don't like the EU. Ugh.
But these states, all in all,
Wait, I don't think that's the
in the
EU.
financial system, almost
Is this like an
like another entity
EPP? I think I've heard about this. Nah, it's stupid.
we all know and love. But these states, all in all, are German puppets, with the German minority in each state being the highest class, including the rulers. This is Prussians, after all. Poland never really is discussed, so their future is muddled, and probably violent.
Wait, why does he have a World War II map? This is not World War II. They won the war, and they get all these lands, you know? Bruh, you're being unfair.
Poland never really is discussed, so
Bruh.
their future is muddled, and probably violent. Speaking of which, the Russian Civil War is still, of course, happening, and plans get muddled in war. It's easily foreseeable the conflict in Russia blends into the plans with the Germans as the conflict spills over. Communists versus non-communists fighting in many areas of Eastern Europe. The stability of Russia is of the utmost importance to the Germans, as a Soviet state on their border is
Yeah, but remember, if this is 1917 or 1918, maybe even 1919, Germany probably wouldn't help out. They probably would be just trying to get themselves fixed. They wouldn't send any more men because millions already died. It was already horrible enough. As for the 1914 option, yeah, I do think this is quite possible. In fact, probable. Like, probably would be the most likely thing to happen. So yeah, this is, I think, quick victory in this timeline, so makes all sense.
a catastrophe to the traditionalist Prussian culture. The White Army receives vast amounts of funding, support, and men to the front lines from almost every Western state, from Britain, France, Germany, and America. With this aid from the powerful German Empire, the Whites succeed, and the Soviets are crushed. The Soviet Union never arises.
Yeah, you suck, Soviet Union. Get out of here.
Which, if you want the full scenario on that, check out this video. Germany, while the dominant army on the continent, was just that, on the continent. It was always limited by the superior British Navy and, compared to others, always had a lackluster number of overseas colonies.
Ooh, the colonies now.
Going into the war, Germany always had the ambition of stripping much of these colonies from their enemies. Had they won, nothing would have stopped this exchange. In this alternate timeline, what we see is something called Mittel Africa, or Middle Africa. The German Empire seizes British, French, and Belgian territory.
That's actually what I'm trying to get in my my version. If you don't know what I mean, I'm trying to build this cool world. Right? I don't know. Maybe I should talk about it a little more another time, but I had this cool idea where I wanted to build my own version of Germany. And then I have all these lands.
Territory all throughout Africa, effectively taking over most of the continent. It was basically connecting the three existing German colonies, allowing for one large swath of land across the African equatorial jungle and savanna. A direct empire across much of Africa and an economic
Bro, that's so large. I'm pretty sure that's bigger than the United States.
dominant force in Eastern Europe is always a possibility. Rebellions would be put down hard. The likelihood of Germany succeeding at such a huge endeavor across so much land is hard to say, as the Germans lost against South Africa in our timeline. The Great War is over, and to the victor goes the peace. But the peace is only won if the victor is competent, which leads us to discuss the black sheep of the bunch, the Kaiser, Wilhelm II. During the war, he was mostly a figurehead, but when he made decisions, they were usually based on emotion and harmed Germany in the process. For Germany,
He had a lot of care, but he's too much emotional based. That's the thing. You can't have leaders who are too emotional and too much of the feeling space. You need someone with logic and strength. It's okay to sometimes have that type of stuff like emotion, but no, you gotta be tough. You gotta be a better. You know, I'm just saying, he didn't do the right. He didn't go the right way. And because of that, the German Empire was destroyed.
Germany to have a successful peace, it would need to figure out the exact role the monarchy would play in this new Germany. The war showed that the Kaiser didn't need full authority, as his generals ran the country effectively by themselves, so the traditional role of the Kaiser wasn't entirely needed, even if
But remember, people would probably give him a lot more respect due to him winning the war, right? I mean, his citizens won, and the only leader they know is Kaiser Wilhelm. Then they would probably think he led everything. Now, if there was other people that people found like really popular, and it undermined his rule, then yeah, I think it's quite probable that he wouldn't really have as much power anymore. But I do think people would have a lot more respect than him, than him, like, you know, before the World War.
Germany won. It's possible, due to Wilhelm's general incompetence, the German government would slowly begin shifting his power away from the monarchy and into the hands of the military or government. This isn't to say a democracy, but
Since he's aging, I feel like he would be a little more mature. I don't know. How old was he during World War One? I wonder. Huh? If he's like in his 30s, that makes sense. From 1888 until 1. He was like kind of young in 1888, which means, oh, wait. His father died shortly after 60 years there, and therefore World War One would start. Bro! He was like in his 50s when he made some of these dumb decisions. Bruh. Like. But, to be fair though, he was 29 when he led, so maybe it was like his 30s when he messed up, and then soon he became a little bit better in his like 40s and 50s and kind of put a lot of dependence over the military generals and all that.
it's a step
Kind of feels like the opposite of Hitler.
away from an absolutist monarch. In the West, there isn't so much a cultural change, but a shift in its potential. In our timeline, we went down one path, led by Britain, America, and France. In this timeline, that culture is Germanized. As I said in the last part, without the defeat of Germany
Oh, looks like we'll eat pretzels and schnitzels all day.
being a nail in the coffin to prominent monarchies on our timeline, the legacy of monarchs and empires is less black and white. Monarchies prove they can still be semi-relevant in the 20th century. The main change here is Germany's legacy in the world. Before the war, Berlin was one of the main centers of finance, education, and art in the entire Western world. After the war, the legacy of Germany was a nation surrounded, and after Hitler, a nation which was too dangerous to be allowed to
Yeah, their reputation got so destroyed.
continue. But in this alternate timeline, that legacy never exists. With new victories in the East and harsh treaties against the British and French, the Germans set themselves up to be economic masters of this new order. Just as the United States used World War II and the economic boom to spread its own culture across the world, so too does Germany.
Ill hippies. Well, I guess none of them are hippies, but it looks like the 1960s. I think the 1960s weren't really that good. Other than the civil rights movements, I guess.
When you have a victor, though, there are certainly losers. The defeat at the hand of the Central Powers affects every allied nation differently.
Woodrow Wilson, you suck. Get out of here. You're the worst.
Following the signing of the Treaty of Paris and Treaty of London. Britain, while bitter, would be quick to adapt commercial ties with the Germans. Tensions still exist, however, due to Germany's new influence in Belgium. The British Empire is diminished in Africa as the Germans take all of Middle Africa. Among imperialists, this is incredibly horrendous. The French is all of Middle Africa. Among imperialists,
Who's that? Tell me in the comments below, who is that? That was like just some random soldier.
this is incredibly horrendous. The French as well aren't so forgiving. They would have lost 2 wars by then with the
Bruh.
Germans, and a
French.
national call for revenge is prominent. It's likely the Treaty of Paris is harsh, just as Brest-Litovsk was against
The Treaty of Paris. They shouldn't even have Paris on it. They would have lost the war, which means it should have been called the Treaty of Berlin, or Treaty of Frankfurt, or the Treaty of Munich, which is the only 3 cities I know of Germany.
Russians, and new reparations are forced upon the French this time.
I got it. How about the Treaty of Bennett? Think about it. The Treaty of Bennett. How cool would it be, right? I know this person who has like this last name. How cool would it be? I know. I'm thinking, well, why Bennett? Why Bennett? Not just my friend, but like, have you ever noticed? And I don't know. I never heard that name before. It's kind of funny.
Time too. Now, if this seems like just a switch of what happened against Germany in our timeline, it's not. After the loss against the Prussians in the Franco-Prussian War in our own timeline, the French were enraged, and mass anarchy and instability reigned. The Paris Commune was one such event where radical socialist troops took over the city for months. France was subject to disaster if it lost another war, which in this scenario, it does. It's likely nationalism and socialism rise in the country as it faces what to do against its enemy to the east. No matter what, this bad blood between the two nations doesn't go away and most likely results in another war. Britain and France would become incredibly bitter after this loss. Speaking of allies, I never discussed Germany's, Austria-Hungary, and the Ottomans. Both countries themselves were the sick men of Europe, and it's unlikely they'd survive much longer throughout the 20th century. Yet, we don't care about that. What was most important was
Austria-Hungary and the Ottoman Empire, like, bro, who cares about them? What did they do that was so high a value for anyone or anything? They're just the sick men of Europe. Let them die out.
how they died. Demographics are a main issue in the area of Ottoman control. The Great War and the decade following saw an incredible population shift in Anatolia. Following the war and the collapse of the empire, the chaos which followed saw a population exchange between the Greeks and Turks. In this alternate timeline, the Armenian genocide still occurs. There is deportation, murder, and genocide on a large amount of the population. The Ottoman Empire, a victor in the war, doesn't collapse, at least not yet. And so the Christian
Yeah, so what happens is, instead of being destroyed, they are barely alive. Ooh.
minority stays within the region well into the 20th century. Yet, there is still ethnic tension within the empire as its grip weakens. If the empire does collapse, history of ethnic civil war probably stays as it was in our timeline. That's just how it is. As for the Arabs to the south, the Middle East isn't simply divided into artificial states like Iraq or Syria after the war. When the Ottomans do collapse, the Arabs unite under larger, more natural states. Iraq is non-existent, and instead is divided between Shia and Sunni Arabs. The Kurds have their own nation as well. Wars between the groups still happen, but destabilization between groups into civil war, like in our timeline, rarely are such an occurrence.
So it looks like a big upside in the Middle East because the Germans won. And they'll eat pretzels and schnitzels.
Israel simply doesn't exist in this timeline.
Oh.
But there is a much larger Jewish population within Europe.
Yeah, because Noah, you know.
Especially, unsurprisingly, in Poland. There is never a British Palestine, and never even Hitler, so the Holocaust never forces Jews to flee to a new land.
I know, that's what he would say. Bro, like Hitler, he made all those speeches and all that, but he was just like angry, an angry dude. It was more just like, if, I don't know, someone just is having a debate and all he does is screaming out. And it's supposed to be, oh, he's amazing, he's showing himself amazingly, you know? He's so intense with it, he has emotion with it. And guess what? He's too emotional with it. Makes him kind of look dumb. I don't know why people thought he would have the big potential. I would have elected someone who would be able to be a much, much better leader. But whatever, people were you know, they were in a bad situation or whatever.
Could fascism still rise? Possibly, but obviously not in the manner of
Maybe, slightly maybe in Italy. Who knows?
our timeline. It would be harder, having to rise in countries with histories of democracy. As a whole, we see a Western civilization far more socially conservative than our own. Without World War II, which created such a societal shift, generations don't become disinterested in the old order. Imperial might, empire, and colonies remain a desire because that was Germany's main prize for victory. Britain and France want their colonies back. America wants to be like Germany. Speaking of which, what is America doing? They never got involved in the war, and so the American public is largely neutral to a German victory.
So they just stay isolated the whole time. Alright.
Of course, being culturally
I think that makes sense.
and economically closer to Britain meant that while the Allied loss was an issue, it wasn't catastrophic. What's done is done, and to the Americans, relationships had to be made with the victors and to mend ties. Being uninvolved in the war, the United States tries to reach across the aisle. It's not a global military leader, but economically it's strong. If the German economic plans worked, then they'd be a value.
Wait, so do they not resume, what was it, submarine warfare? What was it, like? I'm trying to remember the name. Unrestricted submarine warfare. So they just don't do that? And then the Lusitania doesn't sink? Lusitania.
Partner. The millions of German immigrants across the Midwest don't have to abandon their heritage so quickly. In our timeline, the reason Germans assimilated so quickly was heritage so quickly.
See this? I used to live, I think, right here. I used to live around here. Yeah, exactly. I'm leaking my home from like he was 4 years old. So yeah, I'm very close to the ethnic German people or whatever. I am German, but don't worry. I hate mustache people as much as you do. I'm gonna like cut my hair so I won't get one.
Quickly. In our timeline, the reason Germans assimilated so quickly was because of anti-German sentiment
World War
once
I and World
America
War
became
II.
involved in the war. They were discriminated and hated, abandoning their culture to fit in. Without a war, many can continue to speak their native.
Okay, let's look at this chart. Look at this. Oh my. This is big. Also, like, what is this Chicago? Oh, according to here, the majority is African Americans dominate Illinois, Chicago. Or not all of Illinois, just Chicago. And then there's like the yellow. I don't know what the yellow his name is. Whatever. Based off this, this area is still like really German. Like that's kind of crazy to think about. Look at Ohio, yeesh. And then as you go more and more down, I don't know what the yellow is, but I do know the South is gonna contain stuff like the Mexico, Hispanic, all those.
Language, even entire isolated towns in the Midwest. As a result, the United States has a far greater Germanic influence mixed in with its English population. Throughout the 20th century, this influences financial and diplomatic relationships with the new power across the Atlantic. Because so much would be shifted by this victory, I can't account for exact specifics going into the rest of the 20th century. Any event could randomly change the course of history, even if Germany did win. The Great Depression certainly causes upheaval for countries across the world. But as a whole,
Since it's kind of early, I don't think Germany would have that super large of a crash. Probably for like a decade, they would be like, oh no, what do we do? What do we do? Oh no, oh no. And it's like a big mess. And then after that, it becomes like maybe America during the Cold War. Something like that, maybe. Who knows?
simply following the events of our own timeline, whoever won the Great War forever shaped the 20th century in their image. Had Germany won, it has an immediate head start on this new age.
Bro, I would have taken advantage of that. I would just take way more than what Germany probably would have thought. Because if I get all that land and I get enough power, then what are they gonna do? Are they all gonna gang up on me? Bro, I could destroy all, like, 2 of them within 10 seconds.
Its Prussian influence, its economic might, and huge population means that the 20th century easily could have been the German century. This new era could look very similar to the
Honestly, I think I'd rather live in World War One if Germany won. That's my opinion. I love America, but it's not like America suffers. I like Britain, France, but man, this world that we live in now kind of sucks, honestly. I mean, like, come on. Let's admit it, it's not really the best. I feel like Germany would probably give us a much better world.
old one. As European empires still fight for land, mentalities remain the same, at least for a little while longer. Even if the Kaiser eventually fell out of favor, Germany still benefits from this war, even if its allies did not. And perhaps German as a culture is far more influential across the world, spreading 3 entire continents. Of course, this is simply one scenario across the world.
This is kind of big. I mean, like, look at this. Okay, so Europa, 83 million. Man. Let's look at this. So, Venezuela, 9 million. Mexico, 8,000. Oh, not that much. 800,000. South America. Brazilian, 620,000. Paraguay, like 10,000. And then these colony islands, not that much, but combining everything. Africa, 70,000. Egypt looks like maybe 150,000.
Spreading 3 entire continents. Of course, this is simply one scenario, an exercise of alternate history. But it's fun to theorize. This is Cody of Alternate History Hub.
I rate this an 8 out of 10. I think there's some stuff I disagree with, but I do think that was a very well made video. Well, both. I think they were very well made and very thought out. What should I do now? What should I react to now? We did World War One. I'm kind of tired. My head is kind of tired. Kind of want to watch something a little less history. Something a little more dumb, I guess. All I've been doing is watching history videos. Oh my. Bro, I'm not even subbed to him. Why? Unsub. You're cool and all, but I didn't even sub to you. Stupid YouTube glitch. This is Dark Hamster. I'm just gonna plug him in. Can you, like, help him out, bro? We need him to gain more subs. He's been kind of slow right now. He's kind of weak, honestly. And then one of my friends here is this guy. His name is Kenneth Hernandez. You can help him out with his bicycle videos. You know? Actually, I want to react to one of these. This looks kind of funny, but it's like 10 minutes. Bro, cut your videos. Make sure it's kind of shorter because it's kind of far. This one's shorter. I'll watch it. This one. We are not in the 18th century anymore, so this is like about school.
You say school is useful, right? I completely disagree with you.
What is he gonna say? What is he gonna say? I'm gonna pretend to be a teacher? What do you mean, schoolhouse out?
School was made in the 18th century.
Yeah, that is true. It was made in the 18th century, alright? But understand this. Back then, schools it was a little bit different how they were made. Back then, they didn't really care about creativity because they had to just be jobs. That was kind of the reality of the world. No one cared about individualism back then because, you had to make some living to survive.
For number 1, starters, 18th century, over 200 years ago.
Okay, wait, so this is 20... 22, and then bro, that's 1822. Are you stupid? This is 1722 since it's the 18th century. Look at you. This is not the 18th. This is the 19th century. You are wrong. Change that title. I'm making a movement. Change the title. Hashtag change that title.
Made in the Industrial Revolution, which is already a keynote.
The Industrial Revolution. It was all good and all bad. Honestly, I think pre-Industrial Revolution wasn't evil. Like, it wasn't an awful world, but it wasn't that good of a world either. I feel like people kind of had more care for families. People were much closer together. I think family matters the most. If you were to somehow mix industrialization with family, I think you would have a very great world, because I feel like family and tradition's the best thing you could possibly get. No, it is the best thing you can get. What do you mean possibly?
That's why you sit nice and neat. You're gonna sit in a row, and there's only one way you're gonna learn. You're gonna learn like this, that's it.
Yes, that is true. Now, there's been obviously some changes, but they never really changed how the whole system went, right? For a long time. It's clearly outdated, and it's just, school is not the same. It has, well, it's always been the same. What am I talking about? It's always sucked.
Every kid's different. There's different ways of.
Yeah, that is true. That's why there's a lot of cool stuff like trading, apprenticeships when you get out of school. I think stuff like that is much better than college sometimes. I think college works at a lot of different stuff, but stuff like gender theory, like, just get out of there and do trade. Do something useful. Like, the whole gender theory, like, it's not useful to society. It's just stupid.
Learning. Everybody's different, that's the problem.
I love this music. Let me hear that.
It's different. There's different ways of learning. Everybody's different, that's the problem. We're stuck in one way, that's
Man, that's good music.
it. It's like a one suck fit all shit kind of thing. That's not
Wait, hey bro, this is family friendly. Don't swear. Well, it's fine. I didn't say it.
how it should work. We are in the 21st century.
Well, you could get 21st century right, but you can't get the 18th and 19th century. You calm? I'm calm.
Okay, I want the answer to math. We have the technology for that. Okay.
Okay, I understand that, but please understand this too. I don't want to just, know the answer on the internet all the time. I want to, like, be able to memorize, basic stuff in my brain, I don't just want to be on my phone all day and know all the information. I don't want to be stupid, I don't agree with that point. I think school should teach education. I think that's its point. It should teach education and teach different varieties of doing it. And, it should mostly teach you what can help you the most when you go in the real world. If you want to be learning editing, you want to become an editor, maybe that should be focused for you. At the early ages, you don't have that ability, but in high school, it's a lot more accessible. So I think high school is already doing pretty fine. I'm not positive for middle school or elementary. I think elementary is just finding yourself. They should probably use it only for, like, kids. They should just, like, kind of learn on their own. Or maybe not on their own, like, help from their families. I think parents should help their kids out into the real world. They shouldn't just, like, baby them and all that. They should help them learn and all that. I think homeschooling is not that bad of an idea. I mean, like, what's the worst homeschooling has? I mean, sometimes the parents can be a little busy with things, but I'm just saying, if I were homeschooled and my mom was just, educating me, I don't think that's bad. Learn values and your own things in there. It's not that bad.
People aren't going to want to learn when they're forced to do it, when you're so hostile to them.
Yeah, but you're not forcing them. I mean, that's the real world. Everyone's forced to do stuff. I don't want to go to my job when I do get a job, but I'm going to do it anyway. I get it, like, it's kids, but that, like, they're kids. They shouldn't have that choice. like that should be up to the parents to make those decisions. I don't. When you're in high school, I think it's a little bit different. Like 16, yeah, that makes sense. Dropping out high school if you want, but then you're just becoming a failure. I mean, let's just be honest. Just get through school. It'll be a lot better. Just get through those last 2 years. Don't just drop out.
So when kids drop out of school, it's not because they're bad. It's because the school system has failed them.
I feel like that's a very, very bad way just looking. Like, you can't just look only into one perspective. Sometimes there's just kids that are really, really stupid and don't listen. Oh, they won't listen and they're not willing to try and learn. Other times, yeah, it's 100% school's fault. But you can't put all the blame on school. Sometimes it's also kids' fault. I think it's a mix between them a lot of the time. I think the worst part of school is the indoctrination to kids. They shouldn't be teaching them, the modern day stuff that we have, our gender theory. I feel like, don't teach that to kids. Don't teach them how many, there's more than two genders, because that's lies. There's a truth, and, sometimes they even know what's true or not. I don't want to go fully into that. This is just not even about politics. It's just about, they're kids. It's not even about politics at that point. It's just children. I don't want children to be learning some dumb stuff.
The school system has failed me. It's failed 5.5 million children in the state of Texas. It's failed millions of kids throughout the world. But in America, it's the worst.
Okay. I can understand America has a lot of flaws, but are you telling me America's worse than Paraguay? I have a map of the world. I'm gonna point to a bunch of different countries randomly. I'm not even gonna look. I'm gonna point and then compare the system. So let's go. I know you can't see it, but I pointed to Turkey. Do you think Turkey has a better education system than America? No. Let's see. Let's try. Ready? Oh, China. You think China has a better education system? I mean, let's debate on that. I think, honestly, China has a lot of good advantages, but also a lot of disadvantages. I think you have more access to information in America than China, however. Especially with the internet. But in terms of school, yeah, I think China's been doing better in education. So I'll give you that on China. Okay? I pointed to Russia. Yeah, Russia's definitely a better education system. Sure. Okay, ready? Canada. Even worse. Canada has a terrible education system. It's awful. Nowhere even close to America's. Okay. DR Congo of Africa. Africa has bad education because they don't have much money. Sad, but that's the reality. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna name countries that are, not as good as America in wealth and have, worse education. Chad, Sudan, South Sudan, Ethiopia, Kenya, Somalia, Yemen, Oman, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Turkmenistan, Iran, Syria, Iraq, Jordan, Morocco, Mauritania, Mali, Nigeria, Cameroon, Gabon, Congo, Angola, Namibia, Botswana, South Africa, Argentina, Chile, Uruguay, Brazil. I can go on. Cuba, Greenland. We have probably the second or third best education system in the entire world. I think Finland's better than us, in my opinion, in just terms of education. But that's it. Finland, in my opinion, is the best education system, better than China. I think it promotes creativity while also educating them and putting them in the best positions, so they have the best mix of everything. So I think Finland has the best education system. Second place, China or maybe America, and then 3, China or America. I get it. The school system sucks, but it's nowhere near countries around, any other kinds of countries around the world. People learn a lot more on other things. What I see, though, is that they'll have the education, but they're not, a lot of times, sometimes they're just not gonna, learn it. They'll be too busy on social media. I think social media is the reason all, the stupidity has happened. people knew basic stuff, before social media, and the school system was basically the same. So in my opinion, I think getting rid of social media will fix it. Not really school changing. I think it's because of the social climate.
You're telling me I get a grade A, I'm the best? And what about the kid with the B? I mean, with the F? He's not intelligent? Intelligence is not defined by exams. Intelligence is defined by creativity and...
Yeah, I do agree on that point. I don't give it to him. It's about creativity. It's not just about knowing IQ scores.
individuality, kindness, and respect.
I think if you're smart enough to be able to advance in society, even when it's gonna try and, be over you, the real world, if you can get over the real world well, then I think you're smart. I think that's how I would rank smartness, or like intelligence, based only on if you're able to get through the real world. Depends on how well you can handle the real world. If you can't handle the real world, then you're stupid. You're idiotic.
But creativity is the most. School has killed kids' creativity because you're told to shut up.
True.
You're gonna learn this. You're not gonna think about what you want to do in life. This is it. But this is not the 18th century.
Not 18th, 19th. 19th. Before it was more like colleges and universities, and even then, like they were fine sometimes and then really good other times.
There's many ways you can be successful. Oh, speaking of that, whenever you take a test, there's only one solution to a problem. In the real world, there's many solutions to problems.
What's 5 plus 5? Tell me. What's 5 plus 5? What's the square root of 10? Yeah, just saying. There's one answer in math. I think different subjects have different stuff. Like, art is subjective a lot of the time. I don't think, modern art kind of sucks. I guess it's art. Just making a mess is not art, though. Anyways. I think... math is super objective. So, I think there's only one way for math. But there's different types of ways you can solve it. But there's only one solution. For English, sometimes, it can be different. It's a little more subjective, but sometimes there is objective parts of it. Maybe like grammar, I guess. But English, sometimes it will be very subjective. Science is super objective as well, but if you want to, go against it, you can. You just got to prove it. But there's different ways of solving it. I'll agree on different ways, but I don't think there's multiple solutions.
That's also why I think and school is like prison. You don't have rights. You can't speak. Sure, the counselors or the teachers, some teachers might let you speak, but the system encloses your speech.
I feel like there's a lot of libertarians, let's say. Now, to a certain extent, they are correct, but let's be honest, it's nowhere near something like North Korea. The school system isn't, forcing you to shut up. I think you can have some opinions. I think when they censor you based off of, political or social opinions, I think that's when it can go too far. You should just respect the First Amendment. If you have, an opinion, then you gotta prove, maybe back up your point. I feel like that would make sense. Yeah, and I think school can be really unfair. But this is, I feel like, more middle school and elementary. When you're younger and kind of stupid, kind of makes sense that they don't really care about your opinions as much and just try to teach you. Maybe they should be a little more open, but let's be honest, middle schoolers are kind of stupid. They're having hormones through their brains. They're not focusing. You gotta get them to know more answers, to be more objective, to focus. Don't get them to just wander around, But give them some creativity. I think creativity is good. Just don't make it the only thing.
School is like prison. There's so many cops.
I think dress code's a good thing. What do you mean dress code's bad? Dress code's so light. Give me a break. No, I think dress code's not bad. A girl should just go in wearing very small clothes when she's in middle school. No, that's disgusting. Maybe they should be a little more loose in high school since they're more their decisions. They're making more their own things. Makes perfect sense for elementary and middle school, bro. That's fine if they have, some authoritarian structures or dress code or emphasis on silence and order. Now, some of these I feel like, yeah, school can go way too far sometimes, but remember, they're middle school and elementary. High school is, high school's not that bad. I feel like the main problem is just school just focuses so much on just one route. They're not really that creative. School's not trying to be really that creative, but it also can be too much of a bias. They don't really see much perspective. That's my opinion on school.
Everywhere. I can't even begin why this country is called the best. It's not. America is not the best country.
Yeah, I understand that, but if America's not the best country, then how come we have millions of people trying to get America every year? Tell me that. I don't know, like, it's kind of crazy how we have millions of people from all of South America, all of Central America, even from all of Europe, from Africa, from Asia, literally around the whole world. India's going through a brain drain because all the smart people are going to America. This has been a thing since Germany. Like, no, even before that. Even before people like Albert Einstein came in. I'm just saying, it's because America is really great. God gave it such greatness, but we turned that into something incredibly stupid. So God just left us. Our nation's now just kind of just doing its own thing now. It's going to be isolated soon. America's not the best country. Which country is better? Finland? I mean, makes sense. Finland has like 4 million people. America has 300 million. It's just harder to manage. If Finland had the population but the same government, there's no way they can control it. No way. Too many people, too many ideas, too much individualism around, right? I think individualism is good. But when it's 300 million, no, like 335, it's just hard to manage. You gotta have a really powerful government, which I think the government, or like how it was made, is such a great system. Our founding fathers are very clever people, and they were almost perfect with everything. So saying America is not the best country, like, what do you mean by that, though? Come on, explain to me what makes America not the best country.
It's not. There's all these problems hidden to it. The bad road system, almost so much damn obesity.
Okay, let's look at obesity. So, yeah, we have big obesity problems, I'll give you that. But also no. Why do we have obesity? It's because literally you can get anything. Anything. Like, we live in a very consumerist society where you can just get anything for just like $6. Just saying, if you want to be more free, then you're gonna get more people becoming obese. If we're more authoritarian, which I think is not that bad of an idea as long as it only fits the ideals of God. I think as long as it fits God's ideas, getting healthy, your body's a temple. God says that. I think that's great, But then we're gonna be stepping into lines of what about freedom of stuff, the freedom of things. That's why I think that's why I don't like about America sometimes. I think we're too free. I think that we do need some boundaries. I think freedom of speech is perfectly fine and all that, but I feel like sometimes you kind of need to follow the ways of God. But these are my opinions. I'm happy I can say that in America. You get to say all this in America. You can't do this in any other country. Well, maybe maybe like Europe, but let's just say it's not going to be the same. It's a little, like, a lot of countries have a lot more censorship, even in Europe or Canada, where they're much wealthier. And, a lot of them also have obesity problems too. And
I can't.
Also, the road system's not that bad. I mean, yeah, like, it could probably get a lot of improvement. I think we have a lack of infrastructure. That should surely be fixed. But then again, if we make everything much, much more authoritarian structured, much harder structured, guess what? That goes against your point. So you want school to be very libertarian and free, very liberal and free, yet you don't want the idea of individualism and creativity within, stuff like obesity. Also, you kind of want, you're not gonna agree with ideas of just like letting individuals do other kinds of management. I'm just pointing out you have ideas that can be authoritarian in one spot and libertarian other spots, right? There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying sometimes it can be a little bit of a mess. But yeah, fixing road systems, we should do that. I think that's a good idea. I don't think road systems aren't that big of as large of a problem as people suspect. 300 million people in a massive country. What do you expect? And obesity, yeah, I think we should stop obesity. We're spending way too much money on trying to, like, hold it, but we're not trying to solve it. I think we should cut off stuff like McDonald's. That might go against something like freedoms, though. That's the problem.
I can't. It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. But
I think we should have less social media. The government should be so much harsher on social media.
now back to my topic. The most important thing right now that I have to say is teachers, the commissioners to the education system, the leaders, whatnot. And I'll tell you this. I'm gonna tell you one important thing. You hold the future. You're holding it in your hands right now. So you want to keep us learning useless material that we're gonna learn. I'm not gonna use calculus. I'm not gonna use chemistry or physics.
Ain't you like change the class after 1 year or something? You don't go to chemistry though. You do biology and then you pick it. In middle school, I don't think you do chemistry class. Come on, know your stuff a little better. You're better than this. You're better than this. You have a lot of great points. Just sometimes it can be a little incoherent. Also, you're a little too vague. Give me points. What's some really bad stuff that we're learning? Like what's very useless? Calculus, sure, but we don't learn chemistry. So what's some of the others?
I'm a cop, or if I'm a politician, or if I want to work construction, right? Sure, you might need math, but everybody's different. And no one's gonna be the same. People look different, people act different, people are different shapes, sizes. Everybody's different. But in school, you're like everyone else.
I 100% agree. Lack of individualism and creativity. I think school lacks that.
And I think us teenagers, us children, us young people deserve rights. I think, like Prince EA said in his clip, he said, fish are forced to climb trees. At the end of the video, he said, fish should no longer be forced to climb trees. Because this isn't the 18th century anymore. This is the 21st century, and I'm disappointed because it's failed.
Again, 18th, 19th. It's the 19th century. You already said 21st century correctly. Like,
I took a survey out of people ranging from 30 to 70 years old within the 40-year category. And the people say school is just a waste of time, because it is. Most jobs don't require a degree anymore because they're really just useless. If we want to work later on the next 10 years, we're gonna have robots working for us.
I feel like that's kind of it's really, really negative. Very what's that word? Pessimistic about life. We should be a little more optimistic. I get it, robots are gonna replace us and all that, but how about we not let that happen? A lot of people say, oh, it's eventually gonna happen, but we're allowing that to happen. Just don't let it happen. All we need to do is encourage people to resist against temptations, such as easy life, to work hard, so we don't need the AI. We don't need the machines. We get people to work hard. We get people to keep on going and going and going. We shouldn't be so lazy. We shouldn't, I get it. We deserve rights, right? We deserve individual rights and creativity and all of that. But if we're too free, then we can do whatever we want. People are gonna be lazy. This is just basic knowledge. People, of course, are gonna, do terrible stuff with freedom. Or just be lazy in general. Also, I feel like it's a little bit exaggerated, just a bit. You know, when you say we deserve rights, we're lacking human rights. This isn't the 1960s with, you know, blacks and homosexuals. We just need to do a little better, but like, it's not like they're taking away our rights. Legally speaking, they're 100% bound to this stuff. They're not doing anything that bad. It's just they're really incredibly stupid in how they teach.
You know, school is not preparing us for the future. It's preparing
Do you know what is preparing us for the future? Sponsored by NordVPN.
us for the past. In order to have a bright future, we need to start working now. We need to start working now because the world is progressing fast. School has not progressed. It has stayed the same in a constant cycle. School wasn't made to educate you. The original purpose of the Industrial Revolution was to make kids work in factories. That's messed up.
And that is 100% true. I'll give you that. That was the whole point, and they still stuck with that system.
That's why kids are shutting up.
The only problem is that, like, middle school and elementary, like, I feel like the parents should be the ones leading, and school's only purpose is to teach kids. They shouldn't really, like, you know, they shouldn't enforce a lot of stuff. I feel like with like, imagine the parents, right? If the parents kind of want their child to have a good education on this stuff, and they should kind of lead the child, I think the parents should be the ones being more the authority than the school, in my opinion. I think parents should lead what kids learn. They should understand, know everything the school teaches them, and if they don't agree with it, then you could just move, right, to somewhere else. And if they're going against something that's, you know, illegal, or just something that's incredibly wrong, then yeah, you could sue. You can, you know, talk, you could settle in court.
Working nice and neat and forced to do it. But I tell you what, you administrators, you people for the school, you have the future. Make it bright.
He is right about all this type of stuff, but let's be honest, he's lacking this one big point. Social media. Social media, I think, also really, really ruined a lot of kids' brains because they're being taught a lot of dumb stuff. You know? This is the new type of education, technically speaking. I think YouTube actually works out a lot better than most. It's shocking how well it teaches kids. Like, shockingly. I learned mostly from school from YouTube. I think that's much better. Now, you know, you'll have that really bad content up there, too. But I think there's a lot of great content on YouTube. I can't say anything for Twitch. I think Twitch, it's a failure of everything. I cannot say one good thing about Twitch. You know, it's gonna get replaced. What about, I don't know, like TikTok? No, TikTok, most of it is misinformation, just incredibly stupid. Twitter's the exact same thing, just texting and all of that, or like just tweeting. You know, they're both incredibly stupid. So YouTube's the closest thing, but even that's incredibly flawed. And it's not even a social media platform. By the way, CapCut is owned by the same people who make TikTok, so that's interesting. So yeah. I rate it 5, maybe a 4 out of 10. But to be fair, this was a while ago. This is 7 months ago. He's done a lot better in improving it. I think he could do a lot better. Just the only problem is, he didn't focus on, I think, the main problems. Or maybe not the main problems, but, like, really major parts, too. Also, that thumbnail. That's a disgrace. I don't like that. That's just some of my opinions, though. See, you can have any opinion you want. You're good. You're good. Sometimes I do feel like people exaggerate and then say we're being oppressed or whatever. It's kind of funny. We're living a very good life. We should use it for the best. What else? This is my channel. Shall we debate my own stuff? I think that would be fun. That would be very fun. I'm gonna debate some of my old content. My old content's so trash. Look at this. This stuff is just complete trash. Look, wait. I don't even want to I'm gonna switch the account to something else because it's complete trash. I don't know, like there some random other account I have, just so it won't be on there. Let's look. This is my first video on YouTube. This is me doing parkour and creative, without me speaking. I actually was talking. I just, you know, didn't get to record it. I didn't know how to add my voice in. This is my very first video. It's crazy how much I've aged. This is me at 13 years old. I was like an idiot. Like, bro, I was so stupid. Look at me. Look at me. Doing creative parkour. I was so stupid. This is why you need to improve. You need to do better. Like, that's incredibly stupid. There's nothing to do on here. Oh my, I'm so dumb. This is dumb, bro. Like, even the ending, like, this all just makes me mad. And then let's see how I aged a bit. What's a video that did really well? Oh yeah, Medieval Castle tutorial. Why do I have an ad? Wait, is Blippi in?
Hello, guys. Today,
Blippi's in McAllen. Where is McAllen anyway? That's interesting.
we
I hope he's not, you know, doing anything weird to kids.
are gonna do something really awesome. I'm sure getting a lot of enemies attacking. So,
Listen to my old voice. I sound incredibly stupid.
today I'm going to build
Today I'm gonna build. This is my voice. It's a high pitch.
my own base. Let's get
Beast.
rid of armor. I'll reenact Trojan War. I'll reenact World Wars.
I was incredibly young, incredibly dumb. I remember this.
Guys, this will
Look what I did.
I just want to show you this. The very first version of Minecraft.
Oh
This
my.
is the beta Minecraft. This
recordings.
is the proto.
Oh my. See, my old content was trash. Look how much I aged. I've aged so much better.
Hello, welcome to Minecraft, but you have to subscribe. Hey, that's not true. Don't subscribe.
Wow, that was so entertaining, you know. Bro, I sucked. I hate all these videos. They all make me cringe. They all are dumb. They're dumb as hell. Like, bro, these videos make me cringe. Oh yeah, the 30 sub special. I remember the old music.
Hello guys, welcome to my 30 sub special.
Kind of quiet. I'm more monotone than voice critical.
Crazy. This will be a list.
Look, I did. All I did was just show Minecraft builds. I love the music though. I want to look back at it. It's very nostalgic.
Like,
I remember this old build. Like, this is back in the day. None of this stuff exists anymore.
stuff.
Sadly, it's all gone.
Special portal room, and here you go up. It's like a temple.
Nostalgia.
The port.
Nice.
So,
Avatar.
here we have the Fire Nation.
Oh my voice. Oh my, this is too much nostalgia. I don't want to look back at this. This is almost it's like over a year old or something. I remember, this is just 7 months old. I remember looking at it. I remember when I first even uploaded this video. Man, I remember I first uploaded it when I hit 30 subscribers. I was all like, oh, I hit 30. Oh my, I need to make a 30 sub special because I was too eager. I was waiting till 1,000, but I was like too eager.
Wow.
I'm not watching this. I'm gonna get to the end. But here's some of my highlight builds. My favorite one was the Water Nation. It actually looked detailed.
Come after that. Look at that detail. This
Yeah,
is
look-
so hard to make. So hard to make.
It's so hard to make. spirit tree or whatever. I wrote gibberish. Let's see. This is one of my first worlds I made with my friend. This was like an ancient world.
I'll tell you more about my old builds later. Here is my favorite.
I remember. This is back when I thought my friend would come back. We're no longer friends.
Build here. This is the...
I think there's one more in here. It used to be 3 people. We all had, like, powers or whatever. I only have one of them left. He actually has a YouTube channel. I'll show you later.
Nether fortress.
You know what? This is just so nostalgic. I'm going back to Minecraft. Like, I'm being honest. I miss Minecraft. But I want to do history. Like, imagine showing Minecraft builds historically. Like, that would be honestly pretty interesting to do.
They should add this in Minecraft. Mojang, please add this. I worked really
Oh yeah, Mojang saw this totally with 87 views only.
hard. Yeah, so... Oh yeah, I'll show you that later. Every potion.
This is stupid. This is just... I was like 13.
And gave us Steve's head.
I thought I would make it to like 200 subs. Guys, thank you for allowing me to hit literally 2,000. Literally 2,050 subscribers. I never thought I'd get that far. I'm being actually honest. I didn't think I'd go that far. I was like, maybe one day I can hit like 100,000. My sister's like, you'll never hit that. You'll probably make it to like maybe at least 100. I remember Charlotte, you know, my sister thought, oh, maybe I'll only make it 100.
Right block. I don't know why back then. I'm so sorry. Yeah, the build's not really the video, I guess.
Oh my.
If you don't like it. 6, 7 months
The
ago, I guess.
Ooh, this is an
Yeah, this
interesting
is
one.
called
I don't know
medieval
this one.
roleplay.
It's called Minecraft Medieval
Yes.
Roleplay. Did I really split them up? Spirit. I didn't even do this. That's interesting. That's interesting.
I'm a Joe soldier because boy
Ah.
myself. Now I'm kind of wealthy because I
Oh yeah. This is easy.
say the lack
And then finally,
to do it.
just look. Just this is the most cringe I'll ever have.
Thank you. Special. If you want to listen, go ahead. I thank you guys for everything. You're awesome. Thank you for 30 sub. Thank you. Thank you. This is my 30 sub special. I'm so thankful. Thank you. I know it's very bad fake crying, but like I would rather do it and not cry at all.
Famous words of Skullbuster. I know I'm fake crying, but I'd rather fake cry than not cry at all. That is deep. That is deep. That is truly deep. I'd rather fake cry than not cry at all. Facts, man. Facts. Like, that is just pure based.
Rather fake cry than not cry at all. Bye. This is... See you guys.
Like, I feel like crying. This is depressing to watch. No, I'm being honest. This is actually depressing to watch. Look at my new videos. This is actually pretty interesting. I like this stuff. I hate the old content. That stuff is just complete crap. This is just complete crap. Like, I hated this. It's good that I only got these small amount of views. Except this, how did it get 87 views? I didn't think it would get that far. Luckily, you had 87 for like 6 months. Never went farther. And yeah, so it's stuck like this for a while. The history. And this got 150 views. I don't know how. This was the worst thumbnail yet. No, the worst thumbnail by far was probably this one. Let me look for it. I think either this, playing Egg Wars. It was either that first one. Maybe Prisoner's Vault. Destroying my Minecraft server. Or my trip to SeaWorld, or you know, one of those I think was like the worst thumbnail. I had no thumbnails. They're just still frame images. Oh my. This one was like the only thumbnail I actually did. Roman base tutorial. I might do stuff like that, but that looks nothing like a Roman build. Very inaccurate. Historically inaccurate. Oh yeah, no. The worst thumbnail by far was this one. I battled mutant mobs. No! Even worse! Mob vs. Mob Battle Arena. This looks completely just stupid. I started doing thumbnails when I hit 100 subscribers. That is crazy. That is crazy. 100 subs. Special trailer. Special trailer.
These first one.
Very
Second,
quiet.
I will not tell them. You watch the premiere on Sunday of this weekend. Sunday again.
Yeah, I'll watch it on Sunday. 100 subs special. Hate it.
What is up, guys?
Oh
Sorry
my-
if that's loud.
What is up,
Today
guys?
we have done we're doing our, and then
Look how much I like say or you know make a mistake. Well, I do that a lot, but way worse here.
and yeah, I think that should be everyone. Does anyone want to say hi?
Hello.
Okay. It's a British person. Now let's move on. I'm sorry, it's not British. It's Australian.
I hate this. I hate this.
Let's see what it says. Ground. So you'll have to go through caves. I think they can be in any level. I've seen them in the
Round 1 was a race for
Water
a
surfing?
shard, which I don't know who found it. I think no one won that. And then round 2 was PvP. This is fun. This one's fun. It was like a server with my friend. I built this. This got bombed like 3 times. I quit after that. FYI, nobody found this shard. Oh yeah, that was true. No one won that round. Yeah, now we're fighting. Oh yeah, look at this, look at this. This is so interesting, wow. Guess who wins? How long does this go? Bro, it's so long. Oh yeah, now they like start breaking down. I just let everyone hit each other. I remember that. That was really fun. Okay, now they're fighting. Oh my, he's destroying. The very destructive person. I don't like him. That's why I ditched him. Well, no, that was rude of me.
I don't care.
Oh!
Yes! That was so hard. My armor's like so low.
Oh, my old, like, character. I'm gonna change it. It'll be like... Well, actually, no. This represents me well. Skullbuster. I bust
That was so hard. My armor's like...
Oh my, that's such good music. What was the title?
Wait, is there a blue?
Round 3 or was it?
Because
Oh yeah, I lost.
It was a tie. Nobody won that round.
yeah, so now the two of us, since we are the only ones that got
And then this happens.
Hi.
It counts. Something. Oh yeah. So this kid, I think, was like trying to blow things up. Oh my.
Big brain IQ.
So he tried to blow things up, so I like, you know, blow me up, so I hit him off.
Big brain IQ.
Big brain, I hate you. Big brain. Yeah, I watched stream back in the day. It was kind of stupid. I won by 1, so thanks
I want to say something to the fans.
No.
participating.
Have a great day, guys.
Wait. I need to tell them something.
Yeah.
Y'all suck at Minecraft.
That was him, not me. Now, anyways, goodbye. Bye. Bye.
Like, just dumb content. I was dumb back in the day, but it's kind of changed a bit. I think the last one I'll react to before I go to bed. It's probably let's see. I think it started getting a little better, maybe definitely after this video. Yeah, after the ranking Steven, it started getting a little bit better of content, I would assume. But improvement from that old, really bad content, I think was when I started doing better thumbnails. So maybe this, I guess, this one, yeah, like Amazing Lord of the Rings build, check out. That's when the thumbnails became slightly better. I made that all on my own, that little eye up there, and then the little surprise face. Take On Me Minecraft Edition. Oh yeah, this is classic me. Soon you'll be remembered. It'll be 10 years later. This will be remembered, the content. I was like, oh, why did I get demonetized? And I don't even make money, that's unfair. Which I still get monetized on other videos, but this is all like, the whole video is just copyrighted music. You can't do that, that is so idiotic of me. Wait, no! The stream will get taken down, just like the last one where it got like shadow banned. This one's gonna get taken down this time. Just some clips. Because, copyrighted. I just stole clips from Minecraft. Like, I was a complete a-hole. That looks kinda cool. The music, but I can't do the whole time. I hate that thumbnail. So yeah.
Hello guys. Today
700 subs.
I just want to say thank you for everything. I'm just gonna talk a bit.
I was more humble back in the day. Yeesh.
A shorter video and a longer version of it. So
back when I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna 100% only do Minecraft content. And back when I was like, oh yeah, I'm always doing Minecraft.
this is just insane. I never thought I could get to 700 before. Like, that is insane. It's insane. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
I remember back when I thought 700 was a lot. Now it's nowhere close.
Imagine 700 people that are subscribed to you and watch your content.
Damn, memory lane.
It makes kind of...
Yeah, I'm gonna do a 3,000 sub special. Or actually, nah, I'll do like a 2,000 sub special. I never got to do that, even though I said I would. Kind of an a-hole.
People like Mr. Beast. Imagine having 90 million people subscribe to you. That is insane.
Oh yeah, back when you had 90 million.
In something not Minecraft, it could really be whatever, like, I don't mind.
The Minecraft shorts did so well back in the day. I can't believe they got that much views back then. No, not these. Like, they got barely anything. No one cared about that. The shorts, oh my. I'll react to just a few. Not these. These are actually kind of cool. They're clips. Bro, oh my. I'm Not the Messiah did so well. That's actually great. I like that.
Hail Messiah!
Hail Messiah!
I'm not the Messiah!
I'm not the Messiah! Ironic. The one that did so well wasn't even my own content.
Say you are, Lord, and I should know I followed a few. Hail Messiah! I'm not the Messiah. Will you please listen? I am not the Messiah. Do you understand? Honestly!
Only the true Messiah denies his divinity.
That has zero logic. That is completely idiotic.
What? Well, what sort of chance does that give me? All right, I am the Messiah.
I love it.
Messiah. I'm not the Messiah.
It's just hilarious. It's just hilarious. Anyways, here's the real crap content. This is what I call Minecraft. No. No, I hate this.
I think I'm gonna unsubscribe. It's just so boring. Huh? What's that?
Unsubscribing to Mr. Beast is true evil. This is all dumb. This is just dumb. It's all dumb. It's stupid. The music makes it seem better fighting a pig. Look at this. Bad. This is all bad. I want to leave, but I'll give it one more chance. My most popular video, or like short, that was history related is just the 13 original colonies and Russia was not just ice. That's it. Other than, like, the North Korean one was funny. But too bad. I have to react, like, they did so well. Why? Look how many of these, like, dumb shorts did well. Oh yeah, real quick. This is, like, my friend. Yeah, he, was in my videos. He did pretty well. Killing the most annoying people in Minecraft. You mean me? I'd have to kill myself. I don't want to do suicide. Oh yeah, no. That song got my whole 1 hour and 27 minute live stream. It got into some problems with like copyright or whatever. Incredibly stupid, but whatever. Oh yeah, I remember this. It's not copyrighted, thank you. Whoa, that was so crazy. I hate this. Save me from such bad content. I hate this. They did so well. I don't know why or how they did well. Look how many views. Thankfully, there's some logical ones, like how they saw and escape prison. But then we get all these idiotic shorts that got thousands, hundreds of views. It's so dumb. They're so dumb. It's so crazy how well they did. Oh, God. That's my old dog. Well, she's still around, so that's cool. So, yeah, there was an era where they were all similar to each other in, like, what month it took place. All of these were, like, it gave me maybe, like, 500 subscribers. Some of these videos alone did so well. This one got me 150 subs. I wish I can hit that one day for, like, every video. Imagine my most popular just surpassed because every video I make is the most popular. Every video gets over 30,000 views. I would like that one day. An audience of 30,000. March of Hero taking down bad guy. Oh, I was like beating up Dream, I think. Oh my, the music's so loud. This is like stuff that 4-year-olds watch. This is 4-year-old content. It's not good for kids. I'm gonna take it down one day just because this is called BW Entertainment. I don't know why I have it still there. I'm gonna change it to Skullbuster soon. Yeah, and then the most popular is not even a history video. That's why I'm trying to have a goal where my top 10 videos are just history content, which means I need 10 videos that have over 259 views, which will be impossible, but I'll try. Yeah, so this will be interesting. One day, when I have all these videos out, I make like a really good video. It's gonna get like 10,000 views, and soon all of these will gain like 50 views each, and then boost my entire channel. That's what I'm gonna anticipate at least. 15-year-old reacts to what caused World War I. I think Germany reacts to oversimplified. I like this stuff. This is good content. I highly recommend it, which is my own content and all that. But yeah, so I'll see you later. I'm getting kind of tired. It's just upsetting to look back at 2 people watching my live stream. This live stream did super well though, like 32 views. It's an hour and 24 minutes. So yeah, I'll see you later. And yeah, thank you so much for watching or whatever. I think kind of already know, so I'm not gonna say it anymore, just so I can get more audience retention. Goodbye.